Welcome everyone to the OTA Finals, game number 2. Super Beasts versus Super Sharks. Bob Blown versus Real Drew. Game number 2. Zealinf to Real Gamer. Zealinf gets taken out. Now you got Kai going for Slump. Slump needs to pass to Real Gamer to try and get Arud, however that failed. Real Gamer and Arud, they will stay ISO'd. Ferocious might get involved. He ends up getting sacked. You have Arud going for Ray. Ray from Arud. Arud, can he pass it? No, unable to do so. It is now up to Ray going for Kai. Ray. Back to Kai. Kai needs to pass back to Ray. And Ray ends up getting taken out. Tried getting a chain going with Real Gamer. Unsuccessful in doing so. It's now Real Gamer versus the rest of the roster. Taking out Kai first. And it's now Bob Blown in the mix. Shots getting involved now. Real Gamer and Bob Blown do not want to go at it early in round number 1. And Real Gamer gets caught up against the wall. Beasts will take the first point. Testing. Okay. We're now going into round number 2. Shots taken out. Yeah, Fantana going for Zealinf. Zealinf needs to give it to someone. Ends up stacking his own teammate, Kai instead. Fantana now in the middle. Zealinf to Slump. Slump is out. Real Gamer to Zealinf, and Zealinf is out. Now you have Bob Blown giving it to Ferocious. Bob Blown seems to be getting much involved in this round. Bob Blown has the ball, needs to sack, and he sacks Barra instead. It is now a 4v1 against Bob Blown. The tables have turned. Ferocious will track to Bob. And that's game. Oh, sorry, that is, yeah, that's the round. Set number 2, or game, not round number 2. My apologies. Sorry, I just woke up. 1-1. Shots to Slump, and Slump is the first player out. Ray needs to give it to Solar. No, ends up giving it to Arud. Now you got Shots of a mix in the middle going up against Fantana. Fantana needs to give it back to Shots. Shots has a little bit of time. Big Fantana gets caught up against the wall, and Fantana is back in the lobby. Trying to give it to Ferocious from a chain. However, they were simply unsuccessful in doing so. Ferocious giving it to Shots now with Real Gamer. And Shots gets taken out via Real Gamer. Then you got Real Gamer going for Barra. Real Gamer. Take it out. Trying getting involved in the chain mix. However, that quickly backfired. Now you got Zealinf giving it to Ray. And now Ray is out. Now you got Zealinf going up for Ferocious. The tables have turned once again in favor of the Beasts. And Zealinf is out. It is now Ferocious going for Barra. Now it's actually Ferocious and Bob. Ferocious took out Bob Blown in the previous round. However, Barra has timing and takes out Ferocious. That is another point for the Beasts. Ranu. Oh, thank you so much for the gift. 13 roses. QXBT. Now going to round number 4. Fantana giving it to Arud. Arud to Fantana. Fantana back to Arud. Arud's out. Beasts won game 1. Zealot to Ferocious. Ferocious is out. Got Zealot. Needs to give it to Ray, and Ray is out. Now you got Zealot to Real Gamer. Real Gamer needs to pass it over. Ends up taking out Zealot. It is now a 3-on-2 in favor of the Beasts. He got Slump, needing to give it to Shots desperately. Slump, can he pass it over to Shots? Yes, he does. Shots trying to give it to Real Gamer. However, Real Gamer saw the play coming and quickly positioned himself to avoid being taken out. It is now Barra going for Real Gamer, unable to track it. Bob going for Slump. Now it's Real Gamer and Bob Blown. Bob Blown wants nothing to do with Real Gamer, at least not now. It is now the 1v1 we've been waiting for. Real Gamer and Bob Blown. Real Gamer tends to win 5 out of 6 times. Bob Blown, Real Gamer, unable to take out Bob Blown. That is another point for the Beasts. Shots going for Slump. Zealot ends up taking out Slump. Now Zealot and Fantana are going at it. Seems like they want to ISO, however, Real Gamer won't let the hand. Oh, now it looks like they will. Arun gets involved, and then they take out Fantana. What a good play by the Beasts. Now you got Ray. Ray going for Zealand. Ray, can he track anyone? Ends up tracking down Arun. I know Arun's not happy about that track. That was quite far away. Real Gamer to Bob. And Bob Blown ends up taking out Real Gamer once again, looking to get his revenge for the beating that Bob Blown suffered in Game 1. Ray taking out Barra. It's now Ray and Shots. Shots to Ray. Ray to Zealand, and Zealand is out. Ray and Shots going at it once again. Ray tracking down Shots flawlessly. Bob Blown's down the mix. Will Bob Blown get his revenge? No. Bob is out, taken out by Ray. The score is 3-2 on Beast servers. Arud to Slump. Slump tracking down Arud with no issue at all. Ray giving it Shots. And then Slump giving it back. However, Shots tracks it back with no issue at all. Now you got Real Gamer Bob Blown getting into the thick of it. Bob gets a no! Bob almost got his revenge. However, he does take out Chris in the process. Zealand taken out next. Now you got Ferocious in the mix, giving it to Ray, who will then go for Shots. Shots to Ray seem to be evenly matched up. Shots to Ray sacking down Ferocious. Real Gamer and Bob still alive. Shots. Back to Real Gamer. Real Gamer unable to take out Shots and is sent back to the lobby. Bob Blown now in the mix. Going for Ray. Bob needs to track it back, and he does. That is a win for the Beasts. QX Big T, thank you for 5 additional roses. You got Arud going for Ray. Ray, can he track to Arud? Yes, he does, with the help of Fantana. Yeah, Zealand giving it to Ver. No! Zealand couldn't give it to any of the Sharks players. He just phased through the 2 Sharks players. Unacceptable play by Zealand. Bob Blown, next player out. 2 strong players for the Beasts out. And it looks like they continue to go down one by one. They have such dominant rounds. And then the next round, they totally crap the bed. Barra, 5-on-1. Can he do it? He's never done it once in his time bomb professional league career. He will be able to do it this time. 4-3 for the Beasts. Sharks looking to tie it back up in game 2 of the finals. You got Aroud, who needs to give it to Fantana. Fantana has no one to give it to. Tried to sack Chris, however, looks like that didn't go through. You got Aroud going for Ray. Aroud back to Ray. And Ray's out. Real Gamer. Can he give it to Aroud? And yes, he does. Aroud was unable to give it back. Shots demise. Going for Chris. Shots. Has timing. However, Zilif kind of screwed him over there. Failed chain attempt, which ultimately took out Shots in the process. Real Gamer going for Barra now. And Barra is tracked. Zealinf, now alive. Going for Chris. Chris to Zealinf. And Zealinf gives it to Ferocious. It is now a 2-on-2. Bob and Real Gamer still alive. Real Gamer grabs the bomb. Zealinf gives it back. Real Gamer will pass back, and now it's a 2-on-1 for Bob. Bob Blown will go up against Chris. If Bob Blown is successful in taking out Chris, we will see a 1-on-1. Real Gamer and Bob Blown going at it once again for the win. In round number 8, Bob Blown gives it to Real Gamer. Real Gamer has timing. Bob Blown has timing. Can he track it? No, Real Gamer wins. Real Gamer ties it up in a fumble against Bob Blown. Number 1 and number 2. The two players that do not like each other in a 1v1 ends up in tying the game in game 2 of the finals. Fantana is out. Shots to Chris. Chris back to Shots, and Shots needs to track it, and Ferocious gets sacked in the process instead. Successful play for the Beasts. Real Gamer trying to track through a wall. Zealand adjusts, and he gets taken out. Real Gamer to Aroud. Aroud needs to pass it back, however, he's far away from anything. Within a 5-mile radius. Now it's Shot demise, going up against Chris. Chris to Shots. And now it is a 3-on-2. The Beasts haven't won in 3 straight rounds, and it's looking like that they're going to lose their lead to the Sharks in the OTA finals. You got Ray up against Bob Blown. Bob Blown to Ray. Bob has some time, it ends up taking out Chris. Ray gets taken out of the process though as they try to jade Bob. It is now Real Gamer up against Bob Blown. A second 1-on-1 in 2 rounds, and Bob Blown gets his revenge. And it looks like the Beasts reset where they shouldn't have. So not only did the Beasts lose, they're getting a penalty. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. Not only did the Sharks lose, the Sharks will also get a penalty for the premature reset. What was that? You cannot afford to make that mistake in the finals. So, not only did the Sharks lose, they will be short-handed for the next 2 rounds. Going into the next round. Arude. Going for Fantana. Arude to Fantana. Fantana tracks down Arude. It is now a 4-on-4. Shots to Ferocious. Ferocious is out. Shots. Needs to track down Fantana. Can he do it? Unsuccessful in doing so. It is now a 3-on-3. Zealand going for Ray. Zealand back to Ray. Ray needs to track back, and he does. The Sharks now have the upper hand despite being short-handed. Real Gamer to Barra. Barra has timing, taking it out. Really, no. Real Gamer knew he lost and had to sack his own teammate. It is now a 2-on-2. Real Gamer has timing on Barra this time. And now it is Bob Lone to save the day. Can he do it? Bob needs to track. Unsuccessful in doing so. The Sharks have tied it up. 5-5. Shots devised, going for Fantana. And Arude gets taken, and no shots gets taken out of the mix. Now you have Ferocious trying to give to Bob Lone through the wall. Bob Lone has easy timing, takes out Ferocious. Not sure what the Sharks were doing there. Fantana to Arude. Fantana is out. Bob Lone to Arude. Arude is out. Ray to Zealand. Zealand to Ray, and Ray's taken out in the process. Solar to Real Drew. Barra needs to pass to Real. Real has timing, and Zealand gets taken out of the process. It is now Bob Lone and Barra up against Real Gamer. The #1 player in the world currently, and the World Cup champion, has no one to give it to. And the Beasts will take back their lead, although very narrow. Zealand to Fantana. Zealand back to Fantana. Fantana needs to track, and he does. Ray to Bob. Bob needs to pass it back to Ray. Has time again. Yeah, Ray's out. Real Gamer playing the walls and playing the edges. Giving it to Arude. Arude handles back. Chris gets in the mix and takes out Arude. Now you got Barra going for Fantana. Barra to Fantana, and Fantana's out. Real Gamer to Shots. Shots taking out Ferocious. Shots trying to give it to Chris, and he does. Chris is out. Chris unable to give it back to Shots, and now Real Gamer and Shots are in it. Bob Lone's still alive, and Real Gamer will be taken out, and the Beasts take a 2-point lead, 7-5. Shots taken out first. Ray giving it to Barra, and Barra's the next player out. Fantana to Zealand. Zealand taken out by Fantana. You got Arude trying to give it to Ray. Ray back to Arude. Arude's out. Real Gamer with the bomb. Giving it to Ray. Bob Lone and Real getting in the weeds of it. And Real gets his revenge. That is a win for the Sharks. who come back within one. And look at that. 6-7. 6-7. 6-7 in the OTA finals. I would have never lived to see it. Fantana to Zealanth. And Zealanth is taken out. You got Kai giving it Slump. And Slump is out. Shots demise to Real Gamer. Real Gamer needs to pass it back. And Fantana gets taken out of the mix. Bad positioning by the Sharks. They need better coordination if they want to start dominating on EU servers. Ray, unable to give it to anyone, and is taken out. Sharks down another player. Bob Blown, now in the mix, trying to give it to Chris. Gives it to Kai instead from a sack. Real Gamer to Barra. Real Gamer back to Barra, and Barra is out. It is now a 2-on-2. Real Gamer with 22 KOs, while Bob only has 16. Shots getting involved. Shots needs to track it to Chris. He's unsuccessful in doing so. Bob wants nothing to do with Real Gamer and is going straight for Chris. Chris. Taken out by Bob Blown, and it's another 1v1. Number 1 and number 2. Bob Blown versus Real Gamer. Real Gamer has a bomb. Bob Blown outruns, and Bob Blown gets his revenge once again. 8-6 for the Beasts. Bob Blown putting his team ahead. Slump to Kai. Kai taken out by Slump. Shots taken out. Zealanth to Ray. Ray's Zealanth gets taken out in the mix. Now you got Bob Blown going for Slump. Slump to Bob, and Bob is out. The Sharks dominating ground number 15. Barra, the last player alive, and it's looking like it might be clean sweep for the Sharks. Well, no, not anymore. Barra and Real Gamer now going at it. Chris was taken out of the process. Real Gamer to Barra, and now that's a win for the Sharks. No, never mind. Barra took out Real Gamer. Whoa! What is Barra doing? Barra's popping off. Will he 5v1 the Sharks in the OTA finals? He's never done it in his pro career. Can he do it when it matters the most? Fantana is out, and now it is Barra up against Ray. Can he do it? Can he succeed in the 5v1? One target remaining. Ray passes back. Barra, he does it in 5v1s. The Super Sharks and the OTA finals. Barra. Now we're getting heated. That is Time Bomb. What a performance by Barra. A 5v1. When it matters the most, to put his team up. Shots. 2 shots, unable to give it up to Ferocious. Kai to Real Gamer. And Zealanth is taken out. Kai is out. Barra. Half his KOs coming in round number 15. Taking out Fantana. Bob to Real. Taking out Bob Blown. Real Gamer gets his revenge on Bob this time. And Barra looking to 3v1. Can he do it? No, unable to take out Barra. So Real Gamer is out first. Now you got Ray. And Barra's finally out. 9-7 for the Beasts. The bomb is for Real Gamer and Zealymph. And Real Gamer is the first play that goes down. Now you got Kai giving it to Zealymph. Zealymph going to try and get a chain, and Ferocious is out. And Zealymph is out. Shots demise to Fantana. And Shots is out. Ray, the next player out. Chris to Kai. Kai's out. Sorry. Kai takes out Chris. Now it is Fantana. The only player remaining for the Sharks. Ankles, however, unsuccessful. The Sharks are at game point. 10-7. Quizzle, thank you for the heart, me and the gifts. Much appreciated. Fantana, given his first leg warning. Real Gamer. Shots. Needs to pass it to someone. And Ferocious gets taken out of the mix. Now you got Kai. Giving it to Chris. Zealymph to Real Gamer, and Real Gamer's out. Ray's out next. And it's looking like the Beasts, they are not wasting time. They want to move on to the next set. And Fantana is out. That is a win for the Beasts. They will take set number 1. And now they'll have to go on North American servers. Slump. So we'll move on to entirely new servers. Let's watch what happened in that last round. Let's give it a little look. The Sharks dominating round number 15. So what happened here when it comes to the 5-on-1? Bera, so taking out Slump first. Oh, I realized you guys can't really see anything. So yeah, Bera going for Real Gamer next. Real Gamer totally fumbled that. And then what happened next? So you had Slump. So yeah, Bera giving it to Slump next. Not sure what Slump was doing there. Now you had Fantana. Fantana even makes it. Fantana was just out of position. So then it ultimately came down to Ray. So what happened here? And then yeah, Ray just didn't have timing. That was a wild play. Anyways, let's get into the new server. We are in the new server. Let's ask the beasts what they think.
Oh wait, what the hell? That time is insane. Yo, what's a good spy?
Hey, so beasts, that
Yo.
5-on-1 from Bera, how much confidence does it give your team?
A lot of
Yes.
confidence, bro. Bear is just so good. Like after watching that, bro, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. We have like three of the best clutch players of all time. Like you look at Vox, he clutched 2 1v4s on West last time. You look at Barra, he's clutching 1v5s. You look at Bob, he's also clutching these 1vx scenarios. Like realistically, we just have the better clutch players, so it just gives a lot of confidence.
Nice, and I guess the question now is, so you guys have struggled immensely on North American West servers. Are you guys prepared to play against the Sharks today on their own
We're
servers?
ready. I mean, we've
Alright,
got
bye.
our secret, like,
All right, so I believe it was Bob who said, or Bear, they said they had a secret to beating the beasts. And so far, the first player that goes down is the Sharks player. Ferocious taking out Zealanth. And then we have Ferocious taking out Arude. We got Bob going for Ferocious, and Ferocious is out. We have a big Ferocious fan in the server or in the chat here. Kai ends up getting taken out next. It is now Bob Blown going for Chris. Chris needs to track it back. Unsuccessful in doing so. So now it's Bob up against Fantana. Bob to Fantana. Bob needs to pass back to Fantana. Fantana, no timing. It is now Real Gamer and Bob Blown. Number 1 and number 2 on NA servers. And it looks like the Beasts will take round number 1. Definitely a much different play style than what we saw last week. Zealanth take it out of the mix via a chain. Got Slump going for Arude, and Arude is out. Kai ends up sacking his own teammate and Chris. No NA player, by the way. Not sure if that was the best idea. Chat, let me know who your favorite league player is. Kai is taken out. Shots taken out. Now you got Bob Blown going for no one. And that is a win by the Sharks, who tied back up. Going into round number 3, where Chris will be taken out first. Zealanth going for Real Gamer. Real Gamer to Zealanth. Zealanth unable. Oh my goodness! Zealanth micro-tracked it to Ray, to Real Gamer. What a play! Now I got Zealanth going for Fantana. Zealanth taking out Fantana. What a chain by the Beasts, dominating in round number 3. Not too concerned about the North American West servers. You can clearly tell they practiced. Slump, though, is the final barrier preventing the Beasts from tying or from taking the lead once again. And Slump is out. Zealand, next player to go out. Real Gamer going down next. Not sure if that's a good thing for the Sharks. Now I got Slump with the bomb. Giving it to Arud. Arud will track back. Slump has timing. Arud is out. Shots. And Kai has no one to give it to. Ends up sacking Shots instead. I think that was an appropriate play, given the circumstance. Now you got Kai going for Vero. Vero unable to track it back. And Kai gets caught. And now it's a 3-on-1 for Bob Lone. The Sharks have tied it up once again. 2-2. Ferocious and Zealand in the corner, and Zealand gets taken out by Ferocious. Now you have Shots and Real Gamer. Real Gamer going for Shots, and Shots is out. Bob blown. Using Kai to take out Ferocious. Bob Blown giving it to Real Gamer. Stacks Fantana. What a switch by Bob Blown. And it looks like this is their strategy. Unpredictable switches. Time Bomb is truly a strategic game. Bob Blown and Real Gamer. Bob wants his revenge on Real Gamer. And Real Gamer is taken out. That is a win by the Beasts. Arud is out. Real Gamer back in the lobby early in round number 6. Chris going down next too. Fantana and Kai. Shots didn't wanna get the chain complete. Kai is out. And Slump gets taken out at the mercy of Zealand. Shots to Fantana. Fantana over to Shots. And Fantana is down. I repeat, Fantana is down. Shots to Ferocious. Shots over. Shots unable to pass it. Ferocious and Zealinth. They will go at it. Zealinth desperately wants to get Ferocious out. Zealinth no timing, and now it's Bob and Ferocious. Bob can further extend or Ferocious can tie it up. Will the #1 player worldwide be able to help his team out? He does! What a performance by Bob Blown! Arud gets taken out. Not sure what the Beasts were doing there. Shots going for Slump, and Shots gets taken out. Fantana is the next player out. Fantana gave up. He knew there was no coming back from that. Zalenf, next player out. And now it is Kai and Bob up against the rest of the roster. And Kai, unable to track it over, so Bob Blown will attempt to 4v1, although that'll be very tricky. Bob Blown going for Real Gamer. Bob, unable to track it back. 4-3 for the Beasts. Zalenf, unable to give to anyone. The Beasts are starting to fumble a little. It's not looking too good. Shots and Slump tried to get a chain off. However, Slump was unable to do anything. Shots of the bomb, now needing to take out Fantana. And Fantana will be taken out. Arud being useful. Excellent play by Arud. Real Gamer to Arud. Arud tried getting the stack going or the chain going. They weren't as successful. Shots giving it to Real Gamer now. Real Gamer, what was Shots doing there? What was Shots doing? He should have ran. Bob Blown to Ferocious, and Ferocious will track down Bob. And now Kai, the last player remaining for the Beasts. And a player ends up getting ankled by Ray. 4-4. It looks like the Beasts are slowly starting to fall apart. We're now in the area. We're now getting into late stages or the mid-range of the match, of the set, to where teams begin to get fatigued. Strategies start to fall apart. You can only be locked in for so long. However, the beauty of Time Bomb is it truly tests your endurance. And the endurance of the Beasts are truly being tested right now, and it's not looking good. The Beasts are going down one by one in the finals on Shark servers. The Sharks are angry. They want their revenge. Bob Blown. Slump with takes out Ferocious. Bob Blown going for Slump. Slump almost trading Bob Blown. Bob gets his revenge. Takes out 2 out of 5 Sharks players. And now Real Gamer will be taken out next. No, Ray's taken out. Taking out 3 out of 5 Sharks players. Can he take it out 4th? Takes out Real Gamer. Will Bob clutch the 5-on-1 up against Fantana? Can he do it? And the finals. Can he do it? No. He was unable to pull a Barra. The Sharks have taken the lead for the first time in set number 2. Real Gamer taken out. Zalenf, the next player taken out. Real and Zalenf back in the lobby. Slump to Shots. Shots needs to track it, and he does! And Shots is out. Arud is out. Arud to Ray. Ray. Over to Arud. And now it's a 2-on-1. Fantana. He needs to track down Arud, and he does. It is now Bob Lone up against NA players. We all know how this ends. Bob needs to track someone. Takes out Ferocious. It is Bob and Fantana for round number 2. Will Bob get his revenge on Fantana? Or does Fantana own Bob Lone? No! Bob gets his revenge! We are tied 5-5. Ferocious taken out. Zaylen over to Fantana. A strong start for the Beasts, who desperately look to gain a lead on these very tight servers. Zaylen is taken out. Shots. Taking out Ray. And now it's Real Gamer and Slump Alive. Shots going for Real Gamer. Real Gamer back to Shots. And Shots gives it back to Real Gamer. And now it is the Beasts versus Slump. Can Slump clutch up a 4-on-1? Takes out Bob first. Next opponent is Shots. And Slump taking out Shots next. And Slump is taken out. For real this time. The Beasts have taken back the lead. However, round 12 is truly the real test. Will the Sharks make a comeback? Will they tie it up once again and go on a run? All you need is a small streak, a small glimmer of hope, a small spark, and you've instantly given your team a big advantage. None of these teams have seemed to found their groove. Chris is out. And Zealand is out next. Bob taking out Real Gamer. It looks like Bob Lone is owning Real Gamer today. What a change from last week. We are seeing a completely different Beasts team in action. However, that may be a premature call. It's very easy for the Sharks to make a comeback on their own servers. And the Beasts take another point. 7-5. Can the Beasts get another? Shots taken out and a failed chain attempt. Real Gamer outruns Zealand, and Zealand is out. Looks like the Sharks are very likely to make a comeback here. Because Kai is out. No, Kai sacked Arud. I think that was the smartest play that they could have made. However, look at how much Sharks players there are. Chris is out. It is a 4-on-2 now. Kai. Take out Real Gamer? No. Kai is out. And now it is a Bob Lone versus the rest of the Sharks. Bob grabs and he's out. 6-7 again. The minigame was stopped. Who won, bro? Look at the scores, man. It tells you who won. 1-0 and 0-1. Oh, first set. Beasts won first set. Bob Blown taken out. Not good. Not good at all. Chris to Real Gamer, and Chris is taken out. Bob being back in the lobby while Real Gamer is still in is not a good sign for the Beasts. Arud unable to track to any Sharks player. Fantana in the mix. Fantana taking out shots now. Real Gamer is out. Real Gamer is out. Kai and Zealand. Kai, the North American player, needs to make something happen and he doesn't. And it's now up to Zealand to prevent the Sharks from tying it back up. Ahmed, Orlando, thank you for the gifts. And Zealand is taken out. We are tied 7-7. Orlando, thank you for the gifts. Real Gamer, take it out at the mercy of Zealand. I love you too, Habibi. Zealand taking out Chris. Well, the Beasts have a chance this time. Arud gets sacked. Now you have Fantana and Zealand. Zealand unable to track down Fantana. Fantana over to shots. Fantana needs to track down. Oh! And Kai was right in front of him. Or right behind him, I should say. Bob Blown going for Slump. Slump taking out shots. It is a 2-on-2. And I would argue it's a must-win 2-on-2 for the Beasts. Kai needs to track it, and he does. Tracks down Slump. And now Ferocious, the last player alive. Well, I believe Bob and Vero, we're going to ISO. Vero unable to track it back. Beasts take the lead once again. 8-7. Ahmed, thank you so much for the hand hearts. 100 coins. Thank you. Thank you, Habibi. Zealand is the first player out. Fantana needs to give it to Shots, so I don't know what Shots was doing there. What was Shots doing? Shots could have probably ran and he would have remained alive. However, now it's what Arud is doing. Arud hasn't been helpful at all. Real Gamer and Kai. Kai needs to give it to Bob, and Bob Blown had no idea what to do with the bomb. This is not the time for the Beasts to start experimenting. That is a clean sweep by the Sharks. We are tied 8-8. Real Gamer to Kai, nope. Arud, no. All right, Arud outruns Slump. I would have never thought I'd see the day. Megat, thank you for the roses. Chris is tracked down by Kai. Ferocious. Ferocious needs to give it to Arud, and Arud is out. Went for the easiest target. Shots is the second easiest target for Ferocious. Can Shots redeem himself? No. Ferocious to Bob. Bob blown. Passing it back to Ferocious, and Ferocious has no one to give it to. And it's now Real Gamer up against 3 members of the Beasts. And Zealand will be the first. Real Gamer taking out Zealand. Real Gamer for Kai. Kai with 17 KOs. Real Gamer to track. And now it's Bob blown and Real Gamer for who takes the lead. And set number 2. Bob blown. Oh my goodness. Through the wall. Bob blown. Owning Real Gamer. Ahmed, thank you so much for the 10 cones. Leg warning 1 to Real Gamer. Kai, first player to go down. Real Gamer tracks down Zealand. Real Gamer to Arud. Arud back to Real Gamer. And Real Gamer tracks it to Arud. Real Gamer taken out by Shots. What an unexpected play. Why is no one liking the stream, man? Only 4.5k likes. Shots unable to track to anyone. Bob blown versus 4 players of the Sharks organization. Chris, first player to go down. Bob blown to Fantana. Fantana to Slump. Bob is tracked. And we are tied. 9-9. Late. It's set number 2. This will be going to around 20. A pivotal next round here to see who takes game point. Arud goes down. Kai has no one to give the bomb to. Zealand sacked by Shots. The Beasts are just giving up. They're so uncoordinated. They're so dominant one round, then they mess up the next. Chris, back in the lobby. Shots to Real Gamer. Real Gamer to Shots. And now it is Bob blown up against the 4 same Shark players. What is going on? Sharks now have game points. A must-win round for the Beasts. Game point Sharks. Will the Beasts sell the lead they worked so hard to obtain? Chris, first player out. Kai, why? Kai is clearly a better player than Shots, and Shots went down next. Is Shots genuinely selling for his team? Zayla, I don't even know. This team is just the Beasts. Honestly, the Beasts truly deserve to lose this. That was a pathetic play by Shots. I can't even lie. Probably the worst play in the entire finals. In OTA history. Arud, take it. No, Barosh is going out. Despite what I'm saying, it is still a 2-on-2. However, Arud only has 6 KOs, but gets a massive kill on Real Gamer. Fantana and Arud. Fantana has timing on Arud, and now it's a 1-on-1. Bob Blown needs to win this to send his team to overtime. This is a non-optional win. No, that is it. Sharks clear. Set number 2. And now we go to set number 3. Let's go to the Beast's voice chat to see how they're feeling.
Game. We have the strategy. We just need
Yeah.
fucking Vox, bro.
Bro, they're so shit. Like, just listen to me. If you listen, we'll win. I literally told you guys to kill him
Yeah,
from
that's
the
fine.
start.
That's fine. That's fine.
Beasts, what happened?
Yo. I mean, it's just the shit servers. Like, we're all on 200 ping. We nearly, like, scraped there at the end. But 11-9 is a good score for us, I'll tell you why. Because on game 3, which is tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, and we'll have Vox, so it'll just be easy sweeping. We're learning the West.
Sure, sounds good. Good luck.
Thank you,
Spy.
bro.
Yo, Spy, bro, just look, like I'm not even on my main setup right now. I'm at my dad's.
All right, yeah. But excuses.
It's that, bro.
All right, Sharks.
fine.
Excellent set number 2. However, do you guys think it was a little too close for comfort, considering it was your own servers?
Yeah, that was way too close. We just got in our head. I feel like we just wasn't listening to each other, and the communication was off.
So there's clearly a shift with you guys near the end. You guys were, you guys were getting smoked in the beginning. However, it seems like in the second half, you guys were locking in. What strategy changed? Like, what changed?
I feel like we just started like clicking, like throughout the rounds, we just started like, all right, fuck it, like it's our service. Like, why are we losing? You know what I'm saying? We just locked in and we got it done.
All right, nice. Well, best of luck in set number 3. All right, guys. We're on Paris servers for set number 3. Slump early reset to avoid the penalty. Just give me a second, fellas. Alright, who won? Who won that round? So Barra wins it for beasts. Just give me a second, fellas. I'll get back to commentating in a moment. Alright, I'm back, and it looks like the Sharks just won the past 2 rounds on Beast servers. Yeah, don't worry, you'll get your better camera angle. A rank should be coming soon. I'll have to talk to Vale. There's a lot of work that needs to be put into it. Speaking of which, let's see how much players Tom Abduls has today. 18.4, not bad. So the ball, of course, is on the other side. And someone went down. I believe that was Ray who went down. Real Gamer to shots. Shots to Arud. Shots to Real Gamer. Real Gamer unable to track down shots. Got Fantana going for shots. Froppy, keep an eye out for the next stream happening in about half an hour. You'll see something interesting. Fantana unable to track down Kai. Advantage, they win for the Beasts. 2-2 is the score, says the referee. Now we go into round number 5. Real Gamer needs to give shots, however, Chris gets taken out of the mix. Arud tried to get to Real Gamer through a wall, unsuccessful at doing so. Successful chain taking out Chris. Fantana and Real Gamer. Bob blown in the mix now. Bob needs to give to Real Gamer, and he does. Gets his revenge. And that is another win for the Beasts. Dret, thank you for the rose. Real Gamer in shots. And Chris is taken out. Real Gamer is out. Beasts looking to be dominant. They want to get for a 2-point lead, and Fantana is out next. The Beasts, however, struggling to take out Kai. Slump's finally out. Slump they struggle to take out. 4-2 for the Beasts. Zalinf to Slump. Slump is out. Zalinf taking out Ray. Real Gamer to Zalinf. And Zalinf is out. Ferocious, the next player out. Real Gamer needs to make something happen. Not sure what Kai was doing, but Kai is out. Real Gamer, next player out, and now it's Fantana, the last player remaining for the Sharks. Can he clutch up? Takes it on Rude first. Now he's going up against Shots. And Shots takes him out. 5-2. Real Gamer taking out Kai. And Ray gets taken out next. The team balance has been offset. Real Gamer looking to get destroyed. However, Real Gamer played the wall perfectly. Arud is out. Barosh is going down next, and now it's a 2-on-2. Real Gamer and Bob Blown still alive. We haven't seen these two players go at it for a while. Real Gamer tracking it to Zealand, and now it's up to Bob Blown. Going up against Fantana, who he struggled against immensely in set number 2. Will he get his revenge? No. Fantana continuing to own Bob Blown. 5-3. Can the Sharks make a little comeback here and tie it back up? Arud unable to take out Real Gamer. Q1 is out. Real Gamer taking out shots. And it looks like the Sharks are starting to lock in. Once again, we've seen this happen. They struggle at first, then they start locking in. Bob Blown goes out next, and that is a clean sweep by the Sharks, who now come back within 1. Real Gamer to Bob. Real needs to pass to someone. Arud gets taken out. Real Gamer to Bob Blown. Out. And Slump is out next. Will the Beasts sell yet another lead? Or will they lock in? They are without Bob. Varosh is out next. Real Gamer to Shots. Shots has Real Gamer's tail. Shots demise. Needs to give it to someone. Shots taken out in a failed chain involving Ray, who is the executor of the chain. Got Kai being taken out, or sorry, taking out Ray. Now it's Fantana. Fantana, very strong player. However, he won't be able to do anything this time. The Beasts extend their lead. Sharks calling for a review on what happened in round 10. Not sure what happened. Varane was nulled. I first should probably change round number. Fantana taken out. Shots. Taking out Slump. Real Gamer to Shots. Shots to Ray. Ray is out. Tried to stack Ferocious. Unsuccessful in doing so. Real Gamer goes down next. Zalenf is out. Bera is also out. It's now Ferocious versus Shots and Kai. Ferocious tracking down Shots, and now it's Kai and Ferocious. NA players playing on EU servers. Who will truly be the best? Kai wins it. 6-4. Real Gamer. Tried to sack Slump. Not sure what happened there. Hesitated. And Ferocious goes down next. Bob Lone. Bob Lone taking out Zalenf. Not sure what happened there. Ray getting in the Beast's faces. Trying to strategize. Not sure if it's working. Slump goes down next. Ray to Bob, and Bob is out. That is a 2-on-2. Even turf. Can Shots make magic happen? Shots has no... Shots getting absolutely ankled by Fantana. Shots got shot down by Fantana. It is now Bera, who also got shot down by Fantana. 6-5. Real Gamer takes out Slump. Ferocious getting sacked. Beasts knew not to come near the middle. Clearly predicted that play would happen. Bob and Real Gamer. Bob owning Real, and Real is out. Bob Lone to Ray. Ray's also out. Bob with Fantana. Bob struggling heavily against Fantana. Will he get his revenge? Yes, he does. 7-5 for the Beasts. Bob Lone, Real Gamer in the middle of the map with everyone watching. However, gave it to Fantana, who tried to give it to Ray for a chain. However, it didn't work out. Bob tracking down Slump. Real Gamer to Bob Lone once again. Real Gamer has topic on Bob. Bob sacks Kai instead. Did not want to die to Real Gamer. Real Gamer and Bob for round number 2. Ferocious has topic on Bob. Bob is out. Shots outruns Ray. Beasts have a little advantage here in numbers. However, Real Gamer going to track down Zalenf. And now it's a 2-on-2. Shots to Ferocious to Bera. Bera to Ferocious, and Ferocious tracking it back to Vera. And now it's up to Shots to take out Ferocious and Real Gamer. Ferocious tracking down Shots, and for the third time, 6-7! For the third time in a row. Third time. And becomes 6-7. How? 3 times. I've never seen it happen. In the history of the league. When we have 3 consecutive sets. Where the score reaches 6-7. These 2 teams are dialed in. Ray's taken out. Bob launched Fantana. And Kai sacked. Bob to Ferocious. And Bob's taken out. Fantana is out. 3 Beast players up against Ferocious. Kenny makes up the happen. Zaylen has timing. Tracks him back. 8-6. Real Gamer to Bob. Bob sacking his own teammate and Kai. Ray has no one to give it to. And Bob Lone gets taken out of the mix. Spy, what's your thoughts on Bob sacking Kai for the last 4 rounds? Well, Kai hasn't been very useful, so I don't blame him. And it's not Kai's fault. Kai's mainly an NA dominant player. However, you do expect your cross-region players to support in one way or another. Real Gamer goes down. Shots. Going for Slump. Slump. No timing. 2-on-2. Bera and Shots up against Fantana and Ferocious. Shots to Fantana. Fantana has timing and takes out Shots. Fantana giving it to Bera. Bera gave it to Ferocious. And can Ferocious come up with a huge win for his team? Or will Fantana bring it back within 1 to keep it competitive? Fantana is out. A 3-point lead for the Beasts. It's rare that we see leads this large in the final, especially against these 2 teams. Bob Lone going for Real Gamer. Bob Lone to Real Gamer. Real Gamer is out. Ray to Bob. And Kai is out. Bob is out. Bob is out. I repeat, Bob is out. Shots needs to give it to someone, has no one to give it to, and his team refuses to help him. Numbers in favor for the Sharks this time. Zealand must win. No, he doesn't. Bera, can he 3v1 this? Bera to Ray. Ray to Bera. 9-7. These 2 teams have gone at it for over 90 minutes. Ray to Bob. Bob is out. Zealand needs to pass it over to Ray. Ends up sacking Kai instead. The sack bot. Zealand to Ray. Ray, unable to pass it to anyone. Real Gamer. And a massive scruffle, which ends up taking out shots. Zaylif is out. Beast's looking to make a massive comeback. They are not done yet. They want to send this to overtime, and they want to take a commanding lead. Another win for the Sharks. 9-8. The Beast's lead slowly evaporating. Bob taking out Kai in a sack. Sump, next player out. Ferocious going down. Now you have shots at Fantana. Bob blown to Fantana, and Fantana is out. Ray and Bob blown going at it. Real Gamer in the mix. Bob holds. Ray has timing. Takes out Bob. Real Drew. Zealif needs to take someone out. And Zealif couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Ray. To shots. The shots is out. The Sharks might tie this up. Barra needs to give it to Real Gamer. Real Gamer has timing. However, Barra tracks it back. Tracked flawlessly. Barra has timing on Ray, takes him out, and puts his team up on top. 10-8. Game point for the Beasts. Can the Beasts close it out? Or will they sell their lead once again? Slump goes down. Real Gamer going down next. Bob Lone standing still. Paying his respects to Real Gamer. Zealif goes down next. Bob Blown needs to give it to Ray. Ray, can he track it back? Ends up taking out Ferocious instead. Bob Blown. Bob Blown to Fantana. And Fantana gives it to Ray. A failed chain attempt by the Sharks, which works out in favor of the Beasts. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. The series has been tied. We will be going to a game 3. And game 4 is guaranteed. GG. 11-8. Final score. 1-1. We'll see you guys in 9 minutes for Beasts, for the Scorpions and Monkeys. This should be a good one. Let's ask the Sharks how they're feeling right now. Or let's ask the Beasts.
I'll hop on some block strike.
Beasts, you guys won.
You
How's-
always
As expected. As expected.
But tomorrow, you guys don't have the server advantage. And if you guys
That
haven't
doesn't
won.
matter. That
Oh.
literally doesn't matter. So we won this without practice and we got 9 points on them, and we can do that
Like,
again.
we're
with the
all on
addition of
4
other
hours of
people.
sleep, man. The shit. I just need
Like-
sleep, bro. I promise.
I'm the guy
So
for home. Easy,
Spy,
easy.
like we just
I'm
all
not
work
even
together
on my
today.
main setup either, bro. If I was on my
Yeah.
main setup, bro, we
Like
would've
there's so
won that
many
last
like
match.
different disadvantages that our team had today, but we still pulled through. And like we're learning West, and we're gonna go off and practice it. We played this game with 0 prior practice because we're lazy, but we still win. Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
We're just that good. All we do is win. Right?
Awesome.
And tomorrow we're gonna conquer the Wild West, and
Awesome.
that's just how it's gonna be.
All right, well,
Good
Bob,
fucking speech.
good luck. You got a
Yo.
match to prepare for. I'll see you in a few minutes.
See ya. Have a good day, Spy.
Yeah, you too.
Bye, Spot.
Fantana, it looks like your team left.
Yeah, they all left. Oh, Hess is here, but yeah.
So you guys lost. Was that expected? And what are you guys going to do to make sure you guys win tomorrow?
We're just gonna, just lock in. We get service first. Hopefully, we try to convert, and I feel like we actually could have won that game considering we had momentum. The last few rounds, but we just couldn't get it done, unfortunately.
Sounds good. Well, best of luck tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Spy.
Well, guys, we're not done yet because unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately for you guys, if you want more time bomb, you're going to get it. Got the Scorpions versus the Monkeys. And I don't even know who won the first time. So the Monkeys won the first 2 games. So sorry, not the first 2 games. So the Monkeys are up in this series. Okay, no idea what happened there. Where? Where'd you donate 20K? All right. Give me a moment. Let's see where this new server is at. Scorpions and Monkeys. We'll just have to wait. I'll answer questions from the chat. Campsy, man, I'm not sure if you have as much energy as I do. This is double decker. Double decker will be coming up soon. I don't know what Bob's doing here, man. I'm waiting to join his server. All right,
Yo.
Campsy, how much energy do you have?
I have a lot, bro. I swear I'm ready to go.
All right, we'll tell Bob to add you. Do you know Elevate language?
Elevate language? A little
Yo,
bit.
Spy,
Yo,
you wanna teach me Kung Fu, bro? Mom's, I miss you. Teach me Kung Fu.
hey Bob, can you whitelist Campsy?
Yes, Kamzi, what's your user?
Uh, I'll send it. I'll send it in general.
Alright.
There you go.
Spy, you streaming Elevate?
Yeah, we'll be live. Watch it on TikTok.
Alright.